Alright, we're looking at figure 566, and some important components to notice on this one would be the diameter sizes: a 2 3/4 inch diameter for the biggest circle, a 1 3/4 for the inside circle. From center point to center point, it is 5 1/4. The big circle here is 1 3/4, and the one on the inside is a 1 inch diameter. It's a 7/8 inch thickness when we get to that front view, but we will start off by drawing probably that top view once we get our boxes centered for our 2-view drawing. Alright, we have already done the centering worksheet, but I'm going to go ahead and put the measurements from the centering worksheet on here. Over 1 1/4, over 7 1/2. We're coming down 5/8. The actual part is 2 3/4, a 1 inch space, and a 2 inch actual part size. Run all these lines across. Notice again that I am not going clear to the title block because I'm going to have to erase out some of these lines anyway. There's that direction, and go up and down with it. So right now, this is my top view and this is my front view of those particular pieces. I'm going to start off by drawing the top view, and I got a couple of different circles that I got to place in here. The biggest circle is a 2 3/4 inch diameter, which means I cannot use my circle template because the biggest one is 2 1/4. So what is half of 2 3/4? Half of 2 is 1. Half of 3/4, if you double the bottom number, is 3/8. So if I set my compass to 1 3/8, I'll be able to use that, but I need a center point here. So I'm going to measure over 1 3/8 and up at 1 3/8 to get my center point. Now I can put my pointer down. It should touch the edge all the way around, and it does. So I will draw my biggest circle here, which is the 2 3/4 inch diameter. The next biggest one is a 1 3/4. 1 3/4 diameter I do have. So I can use the center point there, line these up. Here's my 1 3/4. Now next I got to transfer my center point over this direction, and my center point is 5 1/4 over. So if I bring this across, 1 2 3 4 5 1/4. All I did was use my straight edge, 5 1/4 straight across to get to that center point. My biggest circle diameter is once again 1 3/4 here. So I will use the 1 3/4. If I line it up correctly, the circle on this one should line up with this outside edge of my box, and it does. My inside box is 1 inch. And now at this point, all I'm going to do is line up a straight edge of some sort, basically from this point to this point in there, drawing it up. And like this point to down here, the tangent edge, basically going a quadrant to a tangent. And my top view is now finished after I erase all those out of there. So once I erase those out of there and darken it up, the top view would be good. Now I got to transfer each one of these quadrant points down. That one's already transferred down because it was the outside edge. This one here is going to be transferred down, and I'm going to make that a hidden line right now just because it is inside the object. Pull this one down. This is also inside the object, so I can make that one a hidden line. And that outside edge is the one that is previously there. Now we got to look at the drawing to figure out how thick some of these parts are. The overall size of this one is 2 inches, so if I measured from there to there, that is 2 inches. From here, from the height of the smaller one is 1 1/2. So I'm going to measure up 1 1/2 here. Draw my line across. which means then I have to erase out everything above it. And now, how thick is the part that connects them? The drawing says it is 7/8. Use my piece here. Now, to finish this drawing out, I'm once again erasing up to that 7/8 of an inch mark, but there's only one thing left. And once again, it's what I call the butt crack, which comes out like this. And if we look at the drawing here, of what I mean by the butt crack is this point right here. So this is the butt crack that we got to put on there. This line does not stop at that quadrant, it comes in a little ways, as well as it does right there. So with that said, how do we get those? Where the line intersects right here at, we can bring it down, kind of make a mark. Same way over here, where it intersects at there. And then we can increase this line to go to those points. And now we just got what I call the butt cracks in there. Now, after erasing it and making it look good and darken up the lines, figure 566 is now completed.